Hi folks, it's me, GhostCritic, back again, and with another of the Ultimate Graphic Novel collection, and this is one of my firm favourite runs of this character for a long time. Yes, there's been some great overarching storylines, but unquestionably this has to be right up there with being one of the best Daredevil stories that has ever been done, and that is Frank Miller and David Mazzucchello's Daredevil Born Again. Collecting issues 227 to 233. Miller and Mazzucchelli really put, as if it ever changes, but really puts Daredevil Matt Murdock through the ringer. This guy just has no luck with any creator, apart from maybe now with Mark Waid. But everybody seems to want to throw the hurt on Daredevil and Matt Murdock. It is in this series that Matt Murdock, Daredevil's identity, is revealed to his ultimate nemesis, and basically leads to Matt's breakdown into insanity. And it all comes from one young lady. She starts the whole kind of ball rolling, and that was Karen Page. Karen Page was a former girlfriend of Matt Murdock, who used to help him run the law offices, and she decided to kind of pick up sticks, go to Hollywood and make a big name and become an actress. Unfortunately, it didn't really go to plan for Karen Page, and she ended up in pornographic movies and got herself a heroin addiction. And when you're a heroin addict, according to Frank Miller, you're willing to sell your most darkest secret of secrets. And it is Karen Page that, for her next hit of heroin, reveals that Daredevil is in fact Matt Murdock. This information gets filtered down and eventually hits the ears of the Kingpin. And it is from here that the Kingpin ruthlessly destroys and rips apart Matt's life. We have him, and with all his connections with shady characters within the big businesses, he manages to get all his bank accounts frozen by the IRS. He gets the bank to foreclose on his house. He gets him disbarred from practicing law, basically taking away every single material component of Daredevil, Matt Murdock's life. And, well, as you can see, Matt just thinks he's being, it's just incredibly unlucky, and he doesn't see the kind of the plotting of the Kingpin behind all this. And you see Matt Murdock increasingly become more unhinged and insane, to the point where he doesn't even trust his best friend and partner Foggy. He thinks he's in on this big huge conspiracy, and it isn't until the Kingpin realises that, you know, he wants Matt to know that Kingpin knows he's Daredevil, and hasn't seemed to click yet, so he does a kind of signature mob kind of deal, and he firebombs his home. And it is this point where Matt it's the Kingpin. But at this point, he is just so unhinged, so insane, that, you know, he isn't seeing clear. The whole kind of reality and fantasy, it just all kind of meshes into one. And although Matt does his best and goes to confront Kingpin, in the state that he's in, Daredevil Matt doesn't stand a chance, and Kingpin makes short work of him. And to basically totally finish Daredevil off, he throws him in a cab, douses him in whiskey, and basically pushes this taxi cab over the end of a pier and seemingly kills Daredevil Matt Murdock. Of course, this isn't going to be the end of Matt Murdock, and in a huge force of will and determination, Matt escapes from the cab, and he's now at a point where he's homeless, he's destitute, he's beaten down, and he is taken in by a nun into like a kind of church monastery to kind of rehabilitate and bring him back up to health. And it is, of course, the nun is his mother. His mother hasn't been seen for a long time. So at this point, all the way through the storyline, we not only see, you know, the breakdown and of Matt Murdock and Daredevil, but we have a few concurrent storylines running through it as well. We've got Ben Urich, the reporter who's investigating into all this that is happening to Matt, and he knows that the Kingpin is behind it all. And at first he is intimidated by the Kingpin. Here, Ben Urich's confidant, kind of informant, is killed. And Ben Urich has his, I think it's his arm or his hand broken, and this kind of cows Ben Urich, and he keeps stum for quite a while. And it's not until later on that he kind of plucks up the courage to come forward and help another person that's the concurrent storyline in here, which is Karen Page. Yes, she sold the name of Daredevil's true identity, but obviously feels very ashamed and very guilty about it, and she tries to travel across the country to get back to Matt, to apologise, to say sorry, just looking for help to get back to normal, to be released of her addiction. The end of this book is a bit strange. It's like a kind of 2-issue tag on the end, where we have Nuke, which is this kind of psychotic super soldier that the American army have created. And while Kingpin knows that he didn't manage to kill Daredevil, he can't find him anywhere, so he uses this character Nuke to kind of flush him out. But this is just a huge mistake, dropping Nuke into Hell's Kitchen. Literally all hell does break loose. Innocent bystanders, people, the community of Hell's Kitchen are killed. But fortunately, you know, Daredevil Matt Murdock prevails, and Karen Page, Matt Murdock are in a way reunited, and Matt is ready to start afresh, and kind of forgives Karen, comforts her, and is looking to help her rehabilitate herself. It is an awesome story. It's very text heavy. There's a lot to read here. The inner mind of Matt Murdock when he's really at his lowest, what he is subjected to, living in this one room in this big kind of, I guess, a motel, whatever you want to call it, with just like a bed, a mattress, the anguish of Karen Page trying to get through to Matt, to get back to him, to apologise, just the way she breaks down when she first eventually meets him. The artwork by Mazzucchelli fits this kind of grim, dark storyline to a T. It's just a great book all round. One of my favourites that have come out on this series so far. The extras at the back this time, we get a kind of 3-page bio of the writer Frank Miller, who was one of was the writer to begin with that really rejuvenated Daredevil to more of an A-lister than a B or C-list character. You've got the Origins of Daredevil there, little 2-page spread. An artist gallery with all the various incarnations of Daredevil from different artists. Then another 2-page bio about the artist, David Mazzucchelli. And as always, we've got the further reading section. Go buy more Marvel books, please. Which does show us that they're going to be collecting Daredevil, Guardian Devil, which I believe, well, it was when Marvel Knights started Daredevil at issue 1 again under the helm of Kevin Smith, which is actually a really good storyline. It's got Wolverine, which we've already had, and showing off that we've got Secret War, which we've already had as well. Great book, a nice thick book this time, plenty of issues, plenty to get involved in. Definitely worth a pick up if you can find these still in your comic book stores. So there we go, another one down.